Hello and welcome to this video tutorial, which covers the basics of the game Hearts of Iron 4 with the latest expansion Man the Guns. This video tutorial is for new players, so if you're already an experienced player or you already have some hours in the game, then this video is probably not for you. But this doesn't mean you have to skip it. You can watch it. I'm not telling you what to do. Okay, this is also single player. I'm not talking about multiplayer or something. The basics are anyway single player, multiplayer compatible, but yeah, blah blah. Let's just head to a new game. We're starting at the 1st January 1936. The difference between those is here you already have those political decisions that lead to an imminent war. As Germany, that's why you can see here the battle plans. New players should always pick this one, otherwise you get even more overwhelmed by the stuff you have to manage. So what we see here is it's just an overview. Even you pick a country, you can pick a country again. It's only an overview. But this overview is telling you what are countries that have an own focus tree and doesn't share with others, so they have their unique one. A focus tree I will explain very soon, but as you can see here, you have those national spirits. These national spirits can be sometimes, not always, modified. And you can see here some ways you could pick. You could, as Germany, you can revive the Kaiserreich, for instance. Anyway, let's start with Germany. And like I said, you can choose the country again. Just click the country you want to play. Then you can set your difficulty. If you're a skilled player, then you go on elite difficulty. If you go on civilian, then you have a higher production of your equipment, and you gain more political power and not so much resource penalty. Okay, then you can set custom game rules. You can make Germany stronger or keep it normal. The next stuff is you can also pick the war goals. And volunteers. And if you pick and change anything of this one, this means you cannot get any achievements. If you're not doing achievements anyway, then yeah, then it's absolutely okay for you to play with this. The most important stuff, I think, is the AI behavior. If you want to make sure that your country of choice, let's say you're playing as Germany and you want the United Kingdom to become a different ideology like fascist, then you go here on the Britain, United Kingdom, and pick oh god, I don't know, what is it called? Empower the King's Party? I don't know. It's not clear if you don't know the focus tree itself, but one of these is going fascist. Yeah. Let's say for Manchukuo, you can go independent here, or obedience, or random. Anyway, let's start as Germany. I'm playing Ironman Mode. Ironman Mode means simply that you only have one. You can also here change the scenario. That you have one save game. And when you leave the game is saved. So when you come back in, it's still the same like you left. You cannot reload a state before. But this applies you for achievements, right? Okay. Here you can hold this again, open this again. Okay, let's start. Okay, here you see quite a lot of stuff, but it's really basic. These green things are your troops. You can give them move orders, like this one. The time is halted, that's why it's not going any further. It is important to organize your troops in an army. Right now it's just a single division. To organize it in an army, you click here, and therefore it's now in an army. This means here, this shadow means you don't have a general. There are some generals that don't have a picture and they will look same like this. It's very confusing, I hate it, but for now you just pick a general. As Germany, you have plenty of them. If you don't have plenty of them, you can create new one. This costs political power. Political power you can see here. Anyway, we just pick one of them, and then we have a small army. We can put these troops, if we want, just right click, and then they are inside. And when you want to give them all one order, you just click on a province, like this, and when I have this unit right now, I just click here and it's like this, that it's picking all of the units inside the army. I can create another one, taking this guy, and you can see you can give them move orders. But now, what if you want invade a country? So therefore you have to simply click this guy, your general, click the front line and place the front line here. And now if you have this troop from this general here and you want to assign this troop to this general, then you just right click it, but then you will see it's automatically going to the front line. I'm speeding up the game. Okay, but sometimes when we have it like this and just putting them here, and sometimes it can happen that the troops are not assigned to this here, to this front line. So right now they are just standing, and this icon means they have no orders assigned. And in case, just in case, you have an army and some divisions inside the army do not have any orders, you just press Ctrl and assign it to the order you want. This front line is an order. So I'm pressing here, and so they move automatically to this. When I right click, it's assigned automatically, but like I said, sometimes it does not. Okay, to move a troop over water you need two things. You need a port, like this one here, and this is a port. Here you naval base, it's called naval base, but it's a port, it's a harbor. And you need convoys. Like you see right now, 4 of 4 are used for transferring troops, and when this troop is delivered, it's 0 of 0. So when you move a lot of troops, let's say we use the tanks are huge, assign it to this order, we use 9. And sometimes when you when you move all of your army from, let's say, Germany to Africa or, or South America, wherever you move them, the more you move, the more convoys you need. And when you have no convoys, then it will happen that convoys will bring only the amount they can carry to the destination, and the rest will just wait in the port. Now, with the convoys, you always need to make sure that you have enough convoys when you want to move some troops. If you do not have any convoys, the troops will just stand here and waiting for some convoys. Okay, this is for the army. Now we have something else, which is called a field marshal. This guy here, right is the army, left is the army group, so a field marshal, and we can assign it here, and you can see the other are grayed out and these guys are not, because they are field marshals and the other ones are generals. To make sure that your general can become a field marshal, you simply have to promote it. But we are unable to promote because we need more command power. Command power we get over day, but for now we just stick with Gerd von Rundstedt. And you can see it say 1 of 5, and this one is saying 10 out of 24. Here you can put only 24 troops maximum inside. You can increase it after a while, with the skilled stuffer trait. You gain this trait by time. It's not something you can force. When your troops, when your when your general is full of troops, then you can just attack and wait, and after a while he will have those skilled stuffer, and just make sure their troops are full. I'm not sure if you have to have it to maximize to have 24 to get those 30, but for now we leave it like this. Okay, the next part is this guy here, this field marshal. I'm creating another army to make it more clear, and we just can move it into this one, so like this. If I now click here on the front line, you see it has a different line, and this line is made by this field marshal. I can click here and now you see it's empty, because the field marshal is this is the field marshal line. This line is not covered by a field marshal line. It's just to manage all the things a bit different. I can remove it here, and if I just click here, and you can see it got split up. Not split. I mean, it got the first one is a bit less now, and it made space for the other army. So, and if I want to move it here, it's not possible anymore because it's already assigned here. But I can do something else. I can click it with Shift, hold all the troops, unassign it. You can see it's now 5, and now I can make the front line, or even only press no, I have to make a front line like this, and so the troops are moving now. If I unpause it, so you can see they are moving. Okay, but what if right now you are into the war with Poland or Czechoslovakia? What will happen? Right now, not much, because you need to assign certain tasks like offensive, like this. But what does it mean for you? Well, right now it means that your Field Marshal gives the order to attack here with this line. When I press this one here and make it in this country, you see it's quite different. It only counts for one country or one faction. It's a bit sad, actually. I really dislike it. But for now you have to deal it like this, because when you know that these both probably go into a faction later, then you have to recreate all of your stuff here. So when the war is ongoing, they will attack from here, all what is here, because we picked this guy, and it counts for this line. So if I will remove this and unassign, oops, wrong one. Oh, here you can see this is I just deleted too much, whatever. But here you can see this line is different now. But when I reassign the divisions, it has, those teeth are not transparent anymore. No divisions. So when you see a line like this, it always means there are no divisions on this front line. So okay. Next thing with your army is you have an air wing, and with your air wing you can manage to support your troops on the ground, and sometimes it's quite hard to manage all this because you have so many air wings. So you just can assign it by right click to this army, give him a task, just pick one of the tasks, and then you go for it. Yeah, that's all. This difference here between air superiority and interception, it's pretty easy. Air superiority means your wings, your planes are always in the air and try to be in an aggressive way. Interception means your wings will only try to avoid the enemies. Let's say like this, they try to counter like the bombers or something like this. This is your air superiority is the main thing you should try to get. Okay, next part. The Navy. The Navy is with this new expansion they had a quite of redone, but it's still easy to manage. We can assign a general like this. A general can have, no, admiral, not general, I'm sorry, admiral. The admiral can have 10 task force. To create one, we click someone that's empty, and we just move it to this here, or here. Oops, we remove it, and then let's go for the overview. It's a bit more convenient. You can see here which is not assigned, and then you just assign this group. If you want the half of it, you click here, and so they are halved, and you can just click here to create a new one. But then they took 8. What the hell? It's quite confusing because it's slightly different than here. but in the reality you can merge all like this one and have it super easy but super ineffective. You should always make sure that your submarines are not with your other guys, with your other fleet. Okay. To understand how to get your army, you have to know there are 3 things to always keep in mind. This game is about research, production, and your political decisions. And for first, we go for the research. You pick your research that you want to research, obviously, and there's 2 things to always keep in mind. That when you go, we have right now 1936, and when there's a research here, you see the red color is telling you that there is a penalty. So it means it's not very effective. Normally the research will be like 120 days. 120. It saves up to 30 days of research. That's why it's already here a bit. And if you wait those 2 years, then this research saves you 300 days instead, if you will do it now. So you should always search things that you don't occupy all of your research slots available. It's sometimes very nice to have a technology one year before it's actually released, but it will occupy your research slot and probably drag you down with other researchers. So this is the industry, and in the industry you can decide between concentrated and dispersed. It's totally up to you what you pick. Mainly I pick concentrated industry because it's simply giving more output. And yeah, this is for the research. You pick the stuff you want. There's only one thing you should keep in mind. You can increase the speed if you have some points to spare. Those army experience. Army experience can be gained by 4 things. The first one, you send volunteers. The second one, you are into a war. The third one is your exercise. Exercise you can do like this. And you can see here, daily gain. Zack. And and the next thing is you can send an attaché. But as you can see, the country needs to be in war. So civil war or whatever. Spain is probably a country that will go into civil war very soon. And there's also Ethiopia, which is already in war, but we are lacking the political power and command power. Maybe we can just rush a bit. Maybe it's working, but I'm not sure because we have low war support. It would be nice. No, it's not working. It takes too long. Anyway, the war support and stability I will explain in a second. Okay. Yep, reassign. And now this front line looks pretty safe. Okay, we don't need exercise because when you exercise you get experience. Your troops have their own experience, but the problem is with exercise you can only get to rank 3. Rank 4 and 5 need to be achieved via combat. When you send volunteers, so then you can also increase it above 3 because they are obviously in a war. Okay, the next part is the national focus. This one is pretty big. Like I said before, there are some countries that have their own and some countries that, sharing the same one. Spain has the basic one. This is not so big. It has no political decisions inside, like Germany, like annexing a country. Oops, misclicked. Okay. As Germany and many other countries, you should always start with your production. The focus tree covers always production and army, and always some political stuff. The standard tree, which I showed you just before here, this one, has no huge effects on political. It's only internal stuff like daily fascism support or sending volunteers. It's not a big deal, but the major countries have those bigger decisions that can go war with the country, with the neighbors and stuff. So let's go here. Like I said, at start you should always try to get your focus on production. Okay, then we have the next thing we have is industry. You can see here what you have on military factories, naval dockyards, and civilian factories. The naval dockyards are for producing ships and repairing ships, I think. Oh, no, not for repairing, only for building ships. The repair stuff is for where is it? Is this guy here, the naval base. This is for repairing. And this is your production. If you see here, we have the infantry equipment. This should always be in your production. If you think, oh my god, I have enough 3,200, then it's not enough, because 3,200 is... 1 second. Yeah, I was sneezing, I'm sorry. And 3,200 is not much. You should always make sure that you have enough, because if you are going to train your troops... Oops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to do this. You can see you train some and then you have a lack of them. Here, deficit. So we need military factories, right? We have some to spare, that's why it's saying 3 military factories, and we put them here. And now you see this guy is getting red. This means it increases the production over time by a certain amount, and this amount you can increase it with the research, production efficiency, and here is more. Here's the efficiency, and here you can see is the factory output and the factories in a state. This is a state like Hanover. You can see in Hanover we have 3 free slots and 2 occupied. This is a region, and this region has tiny provinces, and the industry is counting for a region, as you can see here. and you can just press civilian factory and place it here. Those 60, 70, 60% means that you have a bonus. The infrastructure is this. It's the infrastructure on 10, it's maximum, and therefore it gives the most production speed for the things you want to build. Let's see. We have the Rhineland, which is finished on 14 May this year, but in Oberschlesien, because we have only 7, I move it up, so we have is later. You can see here 14, so it's I think 9 days difference by 20%. By 20 by 2 different from the infrastructure. The point is, right now it doesn't seem much, it's only 9 days, but you have to see it in years. When you have a difference of 10, here you have a focus, it's Germany, here that you have maximum infrastructure in these regions, and when you have maximum, then it's probably not only 9 days, and it's 15 days or even more. I don't know the numbers right now, but when it's more days that you save, the faster you can produce a new factory, and the faster you can probably produce weapons and more weapons. And when you have more weapons, then you can maintain a bigger army, right? And so always make sure that you build your stuff in a region that has maximum infrastructure. There's at some point you should build infrastructure because it takes time as well. You should not just build everything with infrastructure and then hope that you save a lot of time. No, that's not the case, because the war, when you're playing Germany, the war from now is almost 4 years. It's 3.5 years until you historical in a war. It's a lot of time to prepare stuff, but it's probably not enough to build everything with infrastructure and then start building the civilian factories. It's better to just do it on a balanced way. Okay, with let's speed a bit. With the focus tree, you have a slight downside. Every time you have something here, it will take one of your income with political power. So when I remove this, you can see I get 2.43, and when I pick this again, I have to start over, but then I get -1. So sometimes it's better to not have something here to increase the political power, because the political power is quite useful for your army. This one is military stuff. Or you can also decrease the research or change to free trade, your trade law. It gives construction speed. What does that mean? Yeah, right. Let's check it out. Construction speed. We break this. We are building one here. And it's finished 5th June. And we change the law right now. Free trade. Speed up. And then we see what does it mean. Oh, cool. We saved some days. So yeah, when you go on free trade, it gives you some advantages. The research speed also is decreased. Increased, the speed is increased, but the time is decreased. I should have installed color button. There's a mod, it's called colored buttons. So you can have buttons that are colored, so you don't click like I do. You also can use hotkeys. Okay. I lost my focus. What I wanted to talk about. I totally forgot. Oh yeah, research. Here. You can see here your total research speed increase. With this one here, it's another 2%. This is another 2%. This is 3, 5, 5, and 5. So in total, from this tree, you can have 20. 5 plus 5 plus 5. Yeah, 5. And another 5. Oh, yeah. And this means you have 20%. So in total, you can have 30% research speed. As some democratic countries, you can it also increase when you give those when you give refugees to German scientists and Italian scientists, then you can increase it furthermore. But this is already quite a lot, 10%. Okay, this is for the research speed. Yeah, let's go on with synthetic refineries. You can see that we have synthetic refineries, and we need this to maintain our oil. Fuel, not oil. And oil for the production. Fuel is the stuff you need to maintain your fleet, air force, and tanks. So make sure you're not running out of oil. The next thing is stability and war support. You can increase the stability and the war support over time, or with certain decisions like this one here, promise of peace, or war propaganda. Then you can increase it, or it increases over time the war support when the world tension is going up. The world tension is going up. I will demonstrate it. The world tension is going up when you do things that are aggressive. Aggressive things will be justifying a war goal. Here you can see it would increase by 5%. Let's just do it. And therefore it's 1.6 more. The world is here. And it will decrease over time. Or it will also decrease if I stop it, if I change my mind. Okay. For now, I have to tell you that you have trading. Trading is not on a stockpile. This means when you purchase something like this, it's red. No, God, it's yellow, orange. It means you're giving a factory away for trade. Yeah, 70 right now, and you are getting the resources, but you are not using them, and so it's a lost resource. So what you do is, if you want to trade like chromium or rubber, pick your trading partner with care. If you trade with your enemy, they will get stronger. Anyway, you can see here, and increasing it, it's absolutely not necessary. And you can see I have 0 convoys, and so my troops will not travel. And make sure you always have a decent amount of convoys when you do a lot of trading. The guy who is trading with you has to pay the convoy. So when you are on free trade, means you're offering those resources. From your total resources, you are offering 80% on free trade. Free trade, you remember, was the trade law. When you don't want to trade anything and you don't want your resources on the market, then just go on closed economy, but you need to be at war. The next thing which is important is that when you have stuff here on your production and you have no resources, where are they? Like this one, you see, we have planes in trade, and we have rubber for it. So, and we produce 1 per week, or let's say here 4 per month. And when I go on trade and remove it, what will happen is, oh god, where is it? Here. You see, it's decreasing. So we are producing less. So every time we don't have enough resources, it will give us a penalty. There are some things you can produce even without having the resources, but the amount you will produce is very, very low. So I think I should just explain political power. Like I said, is for this stuff here, for improving relations with a country, and it's for the decisions. So the next stuff is the manpower. The more you have in training, the less manpower you have. There's a difference between occupied countries' manpower and your manpower. Your manpower in your own state is always the core state. It has the you have the full amount of manpower you can take. For instance, United Kingdom has a colony in Egypt, and you can see it's a colony state, and therefore they don't get all of the manpower, only a slightly amount. So this means when you will go into war with Poland and Russia, you will not get their full manpower. You will see that there are some focuses, like this one here, integrate Luxembourg and Lorraine. That gives you the core on Luxembourg and Lorraine. This is this area and this area, and so you would have another 2 million, almost 2 million on manpower available. And from this one, 2.5%. Let's do quick math. You cannot see my calculator, I believe, but 2 million and times 0.025. So we will get from this, when it's fully mobilized, 50,000 manpower, roughly. Okay, from core country, you can see here, we will only have 2%. That's crazy. Only 2% of the available. That's almost nothing. Okay, that's the manpower you can acquire. And one thing I just want to teach you is how to, these are achievements, this one, and this one is the radio here. And here you can see the army, the navy, and the air wings. You can also filter them, and equipment details you can also have, what you have on equipment. Let's say like this. Here, artillery, infantry equipment. So if you catch equipment from your from the surrender or something, and the stockpile of their equipment will go to yours, and you want to know what you have from their equipment, you go to the army, and then you can just check it out. Then there is this one, the combat log. This is very important because this is the overview of your last 12 months or 1 month, depends. And there you can see, right now there's no one fighting, but when you fought and your divisions lost or won, it's showed here. And there you can see how they perform, and so you have a better overview. Also you can see the combats here, and you can see the equipment that you have lost by attrition, or the enemy losses. Also you can see how much you captured, because you can capture enemy equipment. The maximum percentage you can capture from the enemy equipment is 23. You need first, there are two ways. The first way is you need support company, the maintenance company. It gives you equipment capture ratio 5%, and every time you train it, it increases by 5%. And the general trait, scavenger, it's 3%. So, but this only, the maintenance company is for the divisions where you put it, so you have to put it, or you just have to use the scavenger trait. If you have 23%, it's a huge amount, and you can capture a lot of tanks and a lot of equipment. So if you have a short amount of them and you put them into the divisions, it will probably help you out. Okay. There's also now one thing that I want to teach you, which I think is very important. Let's say you want to defend this area. So you just put it here, and you don't want this always in your overview. Then you do something, you click your army and you make a new theater, and then you just name it like defense, and it shows only the troops that are in this theater, and then it's it. Oops. And then you click these buttons here. So you can see it shows you right now here. And if you don't want to see the enemy units because you want to plan it better, then you press the M button. So if you don't want this anymore, you just can, oops, no, not like this, like this. Just press right click, or even like this. Okay, and here you can the reinforcement priority. So when you have a western front and an eastern front, and you're defending the coastline, and you think, oh, here's not much ongoing, not so important, this is more important, then you can increase the priority of reinforcement on manpower. I think we are almost done. Here's the stockpile. And oh yeah, the division design, I almost forgot about that. Let's say you have a division designer, also you have a template right here. You can train it, so it's training this, but you don't know how strong this unit is and what equipment you need. So you go on edit, and you can see the equipment that you need for it right here in the equipment cost, and the combat statistics and the base statistics. So sorry, you can here add those support companies, which greatly enhances your statistics, you can see here. Or you make your battalion and increase it to like this, and then you can see that these are the statistics, and this is how they perform on the ground. So urban is not that great. On a fort is okay, it get a bonus. You think, oh my god, I can attack forts, I should attack forts. Yeah, this is a bonus on forts, but also forts decrease the combat strength of the attacker and increases it, or increases the defense. I don't know right now, to be honest. I think it decreases. Let's see, we can always check, always hover with the mouse above the things, and then you can see this building inflicts an attack penalty, so it's not increasing the defense, so it's decreasing the attack. Very easy. You can always hover with the mouse on the certain stuff to get more informations. So But why could I not save it, right? Because I need those stupid experience points. And to get those experience points in the beginning, I told you there are 4 ways. But there's also some ways, like Army Innovation, that gives you 10 experience. And then you can use it to improve your templates. If you want to edit a template and you already have those templates assigned to, already trained those templates, then you can see here, you can change it to tank, maybe just like this, they're decreasing the experience. But if you change an active template, then they would lose some experience, and you would wait until the reinforcements arrived. So it's not instant, it always takes time. You see? Because this is the equipment. The left is the organization and the right is the equipment. So, okay, I think that's for the basics. I hope I covered everything right now. I made a list and hopefully I succeeded. There's one thing I could just tell you is you can boost the party popularity, your party only, so, or stage a coup, means you can ignite a civil war. Also, when a country is in war, you can start a lend-lease. Lend-lease means you give them items or you request items, or you can take their equipment and ask for a license so you can produce it, but this will cost you factories. Okay, I hope you learned something. There will be hopefully more tutorials in the future. And yeah, bye. Good luck.